out, but it's important to make sure that everything continues to function properly, and that's where the physical therapy comes in. The main complaint I've come to the therapist with right now is just some pain in the insertion of the bicep and also as well as the brachialis.
Todd has tendonitis of the biceps insertion as well as the brachialis, and so what we're using is cold laser to increase blood flow and cellular activity to heal the problem. Other things that we'll use, as we'll show you, is A-stim, which is another soft tissue technique to help cause a small inflammation process to allow his body to heal the tendons. So we use typically both of these in conjunctions with each other and stretching and exercise to help him get through his training. So this is the A-stim technique. What this does is picks up abnormal fibrosis or scar tissue around the tissue that he's having the pain in. The nice thing about A-stim is that instead of what typically would do is rest the muscle, we would actually want him to go ahead and work out and use the muscle. And typically what he would feel or what I would feel is something that I sort of describe as gristle, but what you can see on his elbow here is that it gets red, and that's where the increased blood flow is happening, and that's typically where he has or had the problem. So the three different instruments just kind of localize, going from a broad area to a smaller area to localize where the problem actually is. So this is actually called the isolator tool, and so it gets really close to usually right where the muscle inserts and or is its origin. Very common for like lateral epicondylitis to have a lot of scar tissue. And for him, because of the amount of weight and the amount of reps he does, just breaking down his bicep and rebuilding it all the time. Scar tissue forms typically as an unorganized meshwork, and what we wanted to do is form an organized meshwork, so when you push tension through that tissue, that it's able to give a little bit. When it's an unorganized ball of scar tissue, it doesn't absorb that stress, and that's when the pain can start.
Like he was talking about the parts that have more scar tissue and everything. When he runs that thing over there, I can feel how rough some of it is. Feel like he's running over gravel, but it's smoothed out quite a bit.
So this is what we call a therabar that actually has some different resistance. So we can tend to isolate the muscles that are actually inflamed or having the problem to start to get them stronger. You still feel any of that?
Yeah, a little bit.
More in your neck or in your biceps? Or in your wrist?
More in forearm, actually. Right down to the insertion of the bicep as well.